Hello everyone, welcome to Nilanjana's exclusive English lessons. This video is going to be a game changer. This will be the ultimate one-shot revision of Act 3, Act 4 and 5 which you have been requesting me from so long. And I'm glad that I'm really doing it for all of you. It's going to be a long video. Obviously, when I'm teaching you all the three acts together, I cannot do it in a 40-minute session, right? It may go up to 2 hours, it may go up to 3 hours also. Obviously, right now I'm recording it in half. So, yes. But then, how do you do it? You take a break. After Act 3, take a break and then come back and watch the rest. So, this is the way you can do it. But then don't skip anything. All right, let's begin. So, Act 3, Act 4, and Act 5, that is what I'm going to talk about today. So what are the things that we are going to discuss in Act 3? So first, right now we are discussing Act 3. So what are the main things that happen in Act 3? Caesar going to the Senate. After that, there is the assassination. Then what happens after that? Antony's arrival. And of course, a lot of other things. The full thing of Act 3, the funeral oration, the will which is disclosed, Antony's rhetoric versus Brutus's rhetoric. Then finally, towards the end of Act 3, you know, the way we see the mindless mob violence, everything is going to be covered here. Let's understand a little bit of Rome's political scenario in the beginning. We already know the background before Act 3, what happens. There's a conspiracy which was against Caesar. And on the other hand, we see Caesar's growing power. There are many admirers of Caesar, people who really look up to him, they love him, they respect him, and there are people who want him to be the king, the ruler of Rome, the ultimate ruler of Rome. But what about the other people, those who are jealous of his growing power? They have already hatched a conspiracy, they've hatched a plot behind him. And this day, the beginning of scene 1, what day is this? It's the Ides of March. And on this day, he is going to be assassinated. So how does the scene begin? Scene 1, this is the murder scene, very important. Caesar is going to the Senate. He's heading towards the Senate. It is the Ides of March, a very significant day in Roman history. Now, while he is going, Artemidorus warns him. He attempts to warn Caesar with a letter, and he tries to tell about the conspiracy. Now, why Artemidorus? Why he warns him? Because he is a well-wisher of Caesar. He has come from a background where he has understood, or where he has realized that there's a conspiracy. So therefore, he wants to warn. Okay, but then Caesar dismisses him. What does he say? He says that anything which is personal are secondary, and for him Rome is more important, and therefore he dismisses and doesn't listen to the warning. He doesn't even read the letter. Okay, now after this, what happens? The conspirators, now they try to put up a show under the guise of petitioning for the return of Metellus Cimber's banished brother. They surround him. Now what do they say? Especially Metellus Cimber, he starts the show. He tries to act, and he tells that, okay, please pardon my brother, please forgive my brother, because he has been banished, and you need to forgive him, and so that he can come back to the kingdom. And the other conspirators also, they join him. But then you need to understand, this is under the guise, this is not a real thing. They are actually not asking for the repealing of the banishment. They have other hidden agendas. We know that because they are planning to kill Caesar in a very short while. Everybody joins, and everybody tries to please Caesar. They use flattering words. And what do they say? That, you please, most powerful, most mighty Caesar, please listen to whatever we have to say. Now, here Caesar's speech is very important. Okay, what does he say? That I could be well moved if I were as you, but I am constant as the northern star. So this is one of the speech in scene 1, which is very important. Please put a star against that and prepare the speech well. So, of course, Caesar does not listen, and everybody joins in the flattery. Brutus also joins, but he doesn't do it out of flattery. He genuinely tells that. Okay. Now, Casca strikes when he does not listen. Casca is the first person to strike the first blow, followed by the other conspirators. And Brutus is the last to stab Caesar, leading to Caesar's famous last words, et tu brute. So this is again a very famous word, which a famous statement rather, which was said by Brutus, because this expresses the shock at Brutus's betrayal. So what happens? Caesar falls and the conspirators proclaim that tyranny is dead. So this is the assassination of Caesar. And where does Caesar fall? He lies at the base of Pompey's statue, which is again an irony because he was the one who had killed Pompey and his sons at the beginning of the play. We know that, like when he was returning, right? In which was in your grade 9 portion. Okay. Now, after this, what happens? The moment the assassination is done, the conspirators, they shout, liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Now, what about the people? The people are literally scared because they have seen a murder in front of their eyes and they are completely, they're completely shocked. They're actually scared. But then Brutus tries to calm them down and say that there's no harm intended for anyone because ambition's debt is paid. Caesar has paid the debt for his ambition. So this part, after the murder, what happens? Firstly, the conspirators, they justify their actions. Okay. And we also see Antony's arrival and his strategic rhetoric. Strategic rhetoric, what does this mean? That he gives very powerful speech. He talks, in a very convincing manner. But then that's all a strategy. It's not a real thing. He has a plan which is going at the back of his mind. Okay. So the after the murder, conspirators led by Brutus, what do? They bathe their hands and sword in Caesar's blood, symbolizing their unity in the act. So they try to say that it's a great act. They try to justify the murder. And here we have that famous speech. What is the speech that Brutus gives? Stoop, Romans, stoop. Let's bathe our hand in Caesar's blood. Please again mark the speech. Very important. So here he justifies this. And after this, Trebonius, he comes and he tells that Antony has fled to his house. Why? Because he's amazed. He's like shocked. But then Brutus assures and said that Antony is safe. Ask him to come. We have no intention to harm him. Cassius warns Brutus, but the warning is dismissed. So then from here onwards, we see couple of mistakes which were committed by Brutus, which again leads on to their downfall towards the end of the play. So here Antony comes and he tells that no place, no means of death cannot be more apt than that time of Caesar's death to kill him. So he tells the conspirators, if you all want to kill me right now because this is the most appropriate time. Kill me with the same sword that you have used to kill Caesar because I am ready to die right here at this moment. And then when everybody tries to say that no, there's no harm, we don't intend to harm you, he shakes hands, actually pretends to be their friend. Brutus assures him. Cassius warns him, as I already told you, but Brutus dismisses the warning. Okay, now when Brutus finally assures that no, there's no intention to harm you, Cassius also tells, okay, we will consider your opinion when we are appointing new people in the government. We will consider your opinion. So therefore, you are one of us. You can join our side, and you are just like one of us, even though you are not a part of the conspiracy. So Antony also, tries to show that I'm one of you. I'm your friend. He shakes hands and pretends to be their friend. Now, very cleverly, very strategically, he takes permission over here that, I would like to give a funeral speech. And Brutus again agrees. Cassius again warns him, but Brutus does not listen. Okay, but Brutus gives him 3 conditions. So what are the 3 conditions he gives? Not to blame the conspirators in his speech. And he should speak all good things about Caesar. And he should also mention that he's doing it with their permission. He's giving the funeral speech with their permission. And he will speak at the same pulpit after Brutus's speech has ended. Okay, so these are the conditions which are given by Brutus. Also remember to learn these conditions really well. I hope all of you are enjoying the video till now. If you think this is helpful, There's a lot of effort goes in preparing these comprehensive summaries of the entire act. And I just want a little motivation, little inspiration from all of you. Please share the video. There are many students who are looking for a comprehensive summary of the entire play. So share it with them. Help your friend, at least one of them. And also please show your love. Tell me, how do you feel about the explanation? Okay. Yeah. After this, when the conspirators leave Antony on the stage, and everything is sorted out, that he will give the funeral speech and he's given the permission, Antony's prophecy is very important. So this is the speech where Antony talks about an upcoming civil war. All the all kinds of evil will happen, and Caesar's spirit with the goddess 8 will take revenge. And also there's going to be all kinds of destruction, famine, destruction, everything is going to happen. So here, from this speech of Antony, it's a soliloquy. It's a soliloquy, which is very important. So make sure you read that speech. And from here, what do we come to understand? That this is Antony's real motive. Whatever he was doing all this while with the conspirators was just a fake thing. वो एक नंबर का फेकू है. Okay, so he's a very smart individual. So make sure you understand his character really well. After the prophecy, we come to the know from a messenger that Octavius is very close now to Rome, and we come to know that Caesar had probably called Octavius for some reason. And Octavius, who is Octavius? Somebody is still asking me that. Remember, who is Octavius? He's the nephew, and he's a Caesar did not have his own son, so therefore, after his death, Octavius is the descendant of Caesar. So Octavius's arrival is announced. He's very close. He's lying around 7 leagues away from Rome. But then Antony tells him that go and tell Octavius not to come right now. It's not a safe place for him. And after that, Antony takes the messenger's help and he takes the body of Julius Caesar to the marketplace. That's the end of scene 1. Very important. I repeat, scene 1, scene 2, extremely important. Prepare it well. And those who are looking for a line-by-line explanation, there's my community. The link is also in the description box. If you still want to break it down in a more detailed manner, my suggestion is to go there and watch it. All right, we come to the next part. Now we come to the next part, which is Act 3, Scene 2. My dear students, last board exam, you already had a speech from Act 3, Scene 2. But that does not mean this is not going to be given this time. It is equally important. Maybe some other speech will be given. Brutus's speech can be given. Antony's other speeches can be given. So yes, don't ignore this. Now here we come to know that Brutus, what was his intention of giving the speech before Antony? What does he say? Now his speech is very logical, very clear, transparent, but then there is no emotion in the speech. There's no emotion, and citizens are also convinced. So what does he exactly say in the speech? So he's trying to say that I love Rome. Of course, I loved Caesar, but I love Rome more. And if Caesar would have been alive, all of you would have died as slaves. So what would you actually want to have? Would you like to die as slaves, or would you like to have a life of freedom? So by telling all these things in a very convincing, clear, logical manner, he is able to convince the citizens. Citizens are really convinced because Brutus's speech was, very transparent and very clear, very true to himself. And the citizens are also quite convinced. But after this, there's a game changer, and you know what is the game changer, right? So the game changer is Antony's funeral speech, and this is a master class in persuasion. His persuasive skills, his oratory skills are mind-blowing. So he begins his speech with the famous line, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears." So he's setting the stage for his manipulation of the crowd. He's a great manipulator. And what does he do over here in the speech? He repeatedly refers to the conspirators as honorable men. They are honorable men. So what are the things, what are the, devices which he used? He uses sarcasm. He uses pun. He uses a couple of rhetorical devices like questions, rhetorical questions. And he's trying to say that the conspirators, no, there are no way honorable men. And then he reminds the crowd of Caesar's good deeds, his refusal of the crown, his love for the people, and he contrasts this with Brutus's claims of ambition. What does basically Antony include in his speech? So the first thing what he tells is that Julius Caesar was not at all ambitious. He was not ambitious. He talks about the things that he has done for Rome. He also said that when the poor cried, Caesar also cried with them. That means he's really kind and he was not ambitious. And when the crown was offered to him thrice, did he accept the crown? No, he has never accepted. In spite of being offered the crown thrice, he did not accept it. Therefore, it shows that he was not ambitious, because ambition should be made of sterner stuff. And also he brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. So there are three things which is proved by Mark Antony, stating that Julius Caesar was not ambitious. So I repeat, this speech is really important, where he talks about friends, Romans, and countrymen. In fact, all the speeches of Mark Antony are very important. Next, in his speech, Antony reveals Caesar's will, because he knows that the citizens are really very greedy. They are poor, they are greedy. So he talks about the will where Caesar bequeaths a sum of money, 75 drachmas, which is again important, and access to his private gardens to every citizen of Rome. So what does this show? He's very kind, he's generous. This act of generosity ignites the plebeians' anger. Plebeians are the Romans, the citizens. So it ignites their anger, it fuels their desire for revenge against the conspirators. This is Antony's strategy. This is Antony's motive. He wants to flare them up, he wants to anger them. And he strategically displays Caesar's body. He shows the dead body inflicted with wounds. And this highlights that each conspirator, how mercilessly they had stabbed him. Further, it incited the crowd's rage. We also come to know the power of rhetoric, which is there with Antony, which is way more influential than Brutus's speech. Antony's emotional, manipulative verse is more impressive and way more convincing than Brutus. Brutus's attempt to appeal to reason fails against Antony's skillful manipulation of the crowd's emotion. You need to be skillfully manipulative if you want to incite, if you want to persuade somebody. You cannot be straightforward as Brutus. Brutus indeed is a great human being, but when it comes to politician, he is no way near to Mark Antony. Antony's speech demonstrates how words can stir emotion, alter opinion, incite, and leading to chaos and violence. Towards the end of Antony's speech, we come to know that the citizens are extremely angry. They become violent. The mob is crazy, and they decide to burn down everything. So this was his motive, and he was absolutely successful in doing so. And Antony's wish is fulfilled, and Brutus and Cassius are chased from Rome. That towards the end of that, we come to know scene 2 that they have been chased from Rome. The scene 3, the last scene of Act 3, here it shows the chaotic condition of Rome. Poet Cinna is killed. We get to see mindless mob violence because they just kill an innocent man for having a wrong name at the wrong place. So Cinna the poet is an innocent man, is mistaken for Cinna the conspirator. Initially he was mistaken and he was attacked. Despite his protest fueled by Antony's rhetoric, see, this is one of the reasons they brutally murder him, demonstrating the indiscriminate violence. The scene underscores the dangers of mob mentality and the consequences of unchecked public anger. If the public gets angry and if they are not controlled, they go on a rampage. They burn down everything. They kill people mindlessly, mercilessly. And this is the exact thing that happens in Rome. And it's all because they were fueled by Antony's powerful speech. So this is the end of Act 3. Now we move on to Act 4. And yes, as I said, the video is going to be long. So take a break and then come back and listen to the next part of Act 4. But before we move to Act 4, yes, I forgot that I also wanted to mention the most important speeches in Act 3. So here are the most important speeches, and you cannot ignore them. While I was explaining Act 3, I think I already emphasized on a few, but now once again, please mark these speeches and make sure that you really prepare them well. Now, the first one is the first speech where Caesar tells, I must prevent these Simba. These couchings, these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men and turn preordinance and first degree into the law of children. So, what is Caesar trying to say here? That I should prevent you, because Metellus Simba was pleading in a very flattering way. So Caesar tells that I should stop you right now, because the way you are pleading, the way you are bowing down in front of me, the way you're showing your extra courtesy and politeness, it can fire the blood of ordinary men. Ordinary men can get influenced, and they can turn preordinance and first degree into the law of children. So, whatever is already decided by law, ordinary men will get influenced and they will change the law and make it like the law of children. Now, law of children refers to something which is not serious, something which is playful. Children, they make various laws while they are in games and activities. When they play among themselves, they make laws, they make rules, they make regulations, but then they break it. Right? Every now and then they break it because they are children. So they are in a very playful mood. So your couchings can influence ordinary men and they may change the laws. They may change the things which are pre-decided. Pre-ordinance means something which is already decided, and they can change the ancient laws into the law of the children's game. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood. But don't think that Caesar also has that kind of a nature, that he can be persuaded, he can be convinced, and he can be shifted from his proper thought of actions. That will be thought from the true quality with that which melteth fools. Fools can be melted, but not Caesar. I mean sweet words, low crooked courtesies, and base spaniel fawning. So underline these words, underline these three things which he truly detests. He hates sweet words, means he hates sugar coated words. He hates low crooked courtesies. Low crooked courtesies means what? Like something which is not genuine, flattering words. Low crooked courtesies refers to servile low stooping, and base spaniel fawning. When you try to flatter somebody, when you show your submissiveness like a dog. Dogs by nature, though there are many dog lovers and they may not take it nicely, right? Because we all have, many people have pets. No, I don't have a pet, but many people have pets, and for them dogs are just like their own kids. But here, Shakespeare has said the way a dog behaves, like, it always tries to show that it is very submissive and it's going to all the time try to please you. So, your base spaniel fawning is not something that I'm going to be persuaded. Thy brother by decree is banished. Your brother has been banished by law. And if you bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. So if you do with this, if you continuously plead, I'm going to kick you like a dog out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied. Always remember that Caesar cannot do any wrong. And without cause, he cannot be satisfied. So don't try to come and plead in front of me like this. One more thing you have to notice over here, Caesar is talking about himself in the third person. He tells Caesar doth not wrong. So this shows again his arrogance and his larger than life picture which he has also created for himself. So this speech is very important. Already the video for this is available for all. It's already on my channel, but still I revised this. Now the next speech is the Northern Star. The Northern Star speech is really famous and it's really important. So what does Caesar say? I could be well moved if I were as you. I could be moved if I were like you, but I'm not like you. I'm special, I'm unique, I'm just like the Northern Star. I'm constant as the Northern Star, of whose true fixed resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. So, Northern Star is the only star in the sky which is fixed to its position, and it has a unique resting quality, means it's constant. And like that, there is nobody else in the firmament, in the sky. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. The skies are painted with many sparks, many stars. They are all fire, and everyone doth shine. Everybody is fire. Means every star is unique, and it emits that light, and every star doth shine. It shines in its own way. But there's but one in all doth hold his place. There's only one star, and you cannot compare that star to the other stars. So in the world, it is furnished well with men. Similarly, in the world, you have men. There are so many people, so many men, and men are flesh and blood. So everyone is made of flesh and blood. They are normal human beings, and they are apprehensive, they are intelligent. Yet, in the number, I do know but one that unassailable holds on his rank. Yet, among all these men, there is one who holds on his rank. He is unchanged by influence. He keeps his position like the pole star and is undisturbed by any motion. And that I am he. So I am like that. Let me a little show it even in this. So let me show my quality. Let me show my nature even in this petition that you are coming to me with. Because I will not change. I will not listen to what you are saying. That I was constant, Simba should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so. So I was constant when I banished Simba, Publius Simba from the kingdom. I was constant that time. I was sure about my decision, and I will remain like that. I will not change my decision. So this is that speech which is you have to prepare well. What does Caesar tell about here? He talks about his unique quality. Number one, he's different from everyone else. So again, we can get a hint of that arrogance. We can get a hint of that overconfidence. And at the same time, he's also true to his words like a leader. See, a leader does not keep on changing his words. A true leader will always try to stick to his decisions, right? Somebody who's always hesitant, somebody who's always fickle minded, that he or she cannot be a true leader. That's my perspective, and I think you all will also agree with me, right? Next, we come to Trebonius. There are three lines which Trebonius says that Antony fled to his house amazed, men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday. So, what does Trebonius tell here? He talks about Antony that he has gone to his house amazed, and the way men, women, children, they are running here and there. It is as if it were doomsday. What is doomsday? Doomsday is a day of judgment, the last day on this earth when people are judged. According to Christianity, there is a judgment day where people will be judged. That will be the end of the world. And according to their actions and deeds, men will be sent either to heaven or hell. So, this is what Trebonius tells here. And the next one, Brutus's speech, which I have covered multiple times in my videos. Stoop, Romans, stoop. Let's bathe our hand in Caesar's blood. This is the justification of his murder, of the murder that he committed. And besmear our sword, that then walk we forth even to the marketplace. So let us stoop. Let us go to the marketplace like this. Okay. And why? Because we have done a great deed. We have purified Rome. So we are going to wave the sword over our head and we are going to cry peace, freedom, and liberty. That's the next one. After this, the next important speech where Antony comes and tells, O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Shrunk are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils, shrunk to this little measure. So that long speech of Antony where he tells that, Caesar, how can you lie like this? Because all your glories, all your trophies, all your victories, has it shrunk like this? Like this means the space that your body is covering on the ground, that limited space, has it all been reduced to this? You were such a great person. Everybody looked up to you. You had so many victories. You had so many glories. But today, see the way you are lying. So this is what happens. This is also the statement you can see. It's also a little ironical because it's true. for our lives as well. Because when we are dead, we leave behind all our glories, all our pride, all our ego, all our, all the trophies, all the honor that we have collected. We actually leave behind everything. But then what do we actually take with us? You can say that the happiness that you have lived, the good times that you have spent, that should be that happiness should be the only thing that you should stick to. So this statement is also ironical. I truly agree to this, and whenever I read this, I get a little philosophical. So yes, that is what Anthony tells, and it's so true. Like, the Caesar was such a great leader, but see the condition. He's lying today. Fare thee well, I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour. So I don't know, gentlemen, who else you want to kill. If it is me, there is no hour so appropriate as Caesar's death hour. So this is the time, the hour that is apt for me so that you can kill me. Similarly, no instrument of half that worth as those your sword. Your swords are so appropriate. Use it for me also. You will not get any other weapon which is even half the worth, because you have killed Caesar with this, and I also want to die in the same way with the same weapon. Because why? Because the sword is made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. The most noble blood of all this world is, besmeared on the sword. You have the stains of that blood. So, just kill me with that. And I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, if you bear me hard is if you have any grudge, while your purple hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. So if you really want to fulfill your grudge, if you have any grudge, right now your hands are blood stained. It's so fresh with the blood of Caesar. So just fulfill your pleasure, kill me. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. Even if I live 1,000 years, I will not find myself appropriate to die. This is the best moment in my life to die. Similarly, no place will please me, no mean of death, as here by Caesar. No place is suitable. No other ways of death is suitable for me. This is the only time, place, everything is appropriate. And by you, at the end, this sarcastic comment. Of course, if I get killed by you people, because you people are the choice and master spirits of this age. So he is trying to say that you all are the noblest men in Rome. You all have great power. You all have great judgment. That when you took a decision to kill Caesar, do it with me also. So after this, Brutus' speech, again very important. Oh, Antony, do not beg your death, because though right now we are appearing bloody and cruel, as by our hands and this our present act, you see we do. You see our hands. So you can judge us right now because we appear cruel, because the way we look right now, filled with blood everywhere and just not done a murder, but you all are seeing the bleeding business, you all are seeing the murder, but you don't see our hearts. Our hearts you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. Our hearts are filled with pity, and you can't see our hearts. You are just judging us by what you see. Like how we say, don't judge a book by its cover. So don't judge us, because our hearts are filled with pity. They are pity. Why? Because of the general wrong of Rome, the way Rome was being oppressed, the way Rome was, the people of Rome was suffering. For that, our heart was filled with pity. As fire drives out fire, so pity, pity. So whenever there is a bigger fire, that always engulfs a small fire. Similarly, pity for the general good of Rome has removed our pity for Caesar. That is the reason we have done it. And for your part, to you our sword have leaden points, Mark Antony, our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts of brothers' temper. So for you our swords are blunt. They have blunt edges. That means we can't kill you with this sword. Our swords will not even, work. If a sword is blunt, how can you kill somebody with that sword? Our arms, so strong in hatred of Caesar, have lost their malice. and our hearts are filled with brotherly temper, brotherly love. And we want to receive you with kind love, good thoughts, and reverence. Okay, so next, after this, the next speech, again a long speech of Antony. I doubt not your wisdom. See, I'm going a little fast because you know there's a lot to cover. And I have really something important to tell you. After I discuss the speeches of Act 3, I will tell you that. So I doubt not of your wisdom, let each man render his bloody hand. So he tells, I don't doubt your wisdom. And he starts shaking hands with each conspirator. And see how sarcastically he tells, valiant Casca, though last not last in love, yours good Trebonius. Trebonius was the one who had taken Mark Antony out of his way. That time, Mark Antony did not realize what was the intention of Trebonius. He also tells, my credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me. So, my credit, right now, my reputation is standing on a very slippery ground. That means it's not very sure, it's actually risky because uh, you can consider me in either two ways. Either you consider me as a coward, or you may consider me as a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar, it is true. So, yes, I did love Caesar, it is true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death? So, if Caesar's spirit is looking at me right now, obviously it will grieve him, it will give him a lot of pain, and that is more painful than his death. Dearer than thy death is more painful than thy death. To see Antony making peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes. Why it will be more painful? Because Antony is right now shaking hands, making peace with his foes, enemies, and in the presence of thy corpse, that also in the presence of his dead body. So, I, being Caesar's most loyal friend, most obedient, general, if I am doing like this and his dead body is still lying here, wouldn't it grieve him? And that pain will be more than his death. Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood. So if I had eyes as many as the wounds on his body, I would have cried, I would have wept. Just the way his blood is gushing out of his wounds, my tears would have been flowing from my eyes. It would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. So it would have been more honorable for me than to join your enemies on terms of friendship. Then he asks for forgiveness. He tells, pardon me, Julius. Here was thou bade, brave heart. Here didst thou fall. So pardon me, forgive me. You here were you killed. Now heart over here, heart is there's a pun on this word. There are two meanings. So here lies a brave deer which faced the enemies and then fell down. So he compares Julius Caesar with a deer who was hunted down by the people. Thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil and crimsoned in thy lead. So, right now, they have all the marks of their victory. Right now, they are filled with blood and they are red in thy lead. Lead is life's blood. So, right now, they are standing here, which bears all the mark of their attack. O world, thou was the forest to this heart. So this world was a forest to this deer. And O world, the heart of thee. So Caesar is compared to a deer, and Caesar is also compared to the heart. Heart, the most important organ in our body. So he was the heart of Rome. And like a deer strucken by many princes, dost thou here lie. So you are lying here right now because you are attacked by the princes. Princes mean those who have hunted down the deer. So this speech also very important and I have discussed. Now the last speech of Act 3, scene scene 1. Oh, pardon me, the bleeding piece of earth. So, oh, pardon me, the bleeding piece of earth is which speech where he is actually showing his true intention that I was meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of time. So, you are the ruins of the noblest man, and you have lived in the tide of times. And woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. So I curse that hand that have shed this costly blood, and over your wounds I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips. I take a prophecy over your wounds. The wounds are like the dumb mouths that open their red lips. They are begging the voice of my tongue because they can't speak. Why ruby lips? Because they're filled with blood. The skin is having that stains of blood because the wound is very deep. Now, a curse shall light upon the limbs of man. There will be a terrible curse falling on Rome. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all parts of Italy. So there will be a fierce civil war in all parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be in use, and dreadful objects so familiar. There will be so much of chaos, confusion, destruction everywhere. It will be so familiar that mothers will smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. So mothers will smile when they see their children, infants, newborn babies, quartered, butchered mercilessly due to war. Mothers will smile. So this is something really unbelievable. How can a mother smile? Because that is going to be the level of destruction and level of madness. It will be so familiar that mothers will smile because they have lost all their senses. And pity choked with custom of fell deeds. All pity will be choked, all pity will be removed because it will be customary. All the destruction, death will be customary. Customary means regular, familiar. That pity will be choked from everyone. And Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge with 8 by his side come hot from hell. Caesar's spirit will be looking for revenge with goddess 8 from coming from hell, shall in these confines with the monarch's voice cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. So Caesar's spirit will cry in a monarch's voice. Monarch is a king. In a king's voice means with that voice of power and authority. That cry havoc. So he's going to say havoc. That means, all the horrors of war will be let loose. Let slip the dogs of war, and foul deeds shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial. And foul deed means so many dead bodies will be there on this earth because there will be mass killings, mass destruction, that there would be nobody alive to even give them a burial. So there's going to be a foul smell emitted in this entire earth. So this is the last speech of scene 1, which is really important. Okay. Now in scene 2. Scene 2, the first one, be patient till last, which is Brutus's speech. Okay, so what does Brutus say over here? I already summarized this Brutus's speech while I was this thing explaining. So Brutus over here mainly tells that that why he killed Caesar. He tells them that you all can judge me, you all can decide whether actually it was wrong or not, because I loved, it is not that I loved Caesar less, but I loved Rome more, and all of you would be dying as slaves if he was alive. So I that is what I have done. So this speech of Brutus is very important. Next we come to Antony's speech. All the speeches of Antony. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. So this is also really important. After this we come to but yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor do him reverence. The next one. So this is also very important, where he tells that, I am actually not trying to do anything. If I would have been provoking you, if I would have asked you all to revolt, then I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men, and I will not do them wrong. This is a sarcastic speech filled with irony because he's not at all meaning what he's telling. After this, we move on. Next one. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. Why? Because this is the part where he will show the dead body of Caesar filled with wounds. And here he talks about the mantle. Caesar was wearing that mantle, and that mantle was given on a summer. It was on a summer's evening in his tent. That day, he overcame the Nervii tribe. This Nervii thing is really important. It can come as an MCQ. So yes, this is also you have to prepare well. Next, Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. So that is also you have to prepare well. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me, I'm a plain blunt man. This is what he tells, but we know he was not at all a plain blunt man. He's just acting. And I'll just love my friend, and that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. And they also know that. Who? Brutus and Cassius. They know that I'm a plain blunt man. That is the reason they have given me the permission to speak of him. Because I have neither wit nor words nor worth, action nor utterance, nor the power of speech. He he just plainly claims that he doesn't have all these things. He doesn't have wit. He doesn't have utterance, means the power to speak. He doesn't have words. He doesn't have vocabulary. He doesn't have any value. All lies. You must be knowing. Such people. They are obviously, some people are like this, big liars, and always planning or scheming something in their mind. So there are people like that, Antony, and. And this is what he tells that but if I were Brutus and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar. But if Brutus was in my place, then he would have definitely stirred you up. So indirectly, he's telling them that yes, you have to revolt. He's provoking them indirectly. After this, there is one more. It is not a speech, it's just two lines where he tells, mischief thou art afoot, take thou what course thou wilt. There's also a soliloquy, but then there's just a two-lined speech over here. He tells mischief. Mischief means the spirit of mischief have been let loose. Now, whatever I planned, I have let it loose. Now, nothing can be done. All destruction, all chaos, confusion is going to happen. And let it take what course thou will. Let it decide whichever course it wants to take. When I've started something, I don't care now what is going to happen because I have let it loose. So these are like the most important speeches of Act 3. Now our job is to move to Act 4. Now, but before we move to Act 4, I will again repeat that Julius Caesar is a play that you have to read thoroughly. But since most of you are asking me for speeches, important speeches, because I know all of you, many people are there who want to do shortcut. I understand the pressure right now on your head because you all have so many things to do. So that is the reason I'm giving the important speech. But I'm never claiming that you will only read the speeches and go. It's your duty to read the full play at least 5 times before any exam. If before your prelim, before your first prelim, second prelim, before any exam, minimum 5 times you have to read the play. Okay, with special emphasis on these speeches. See, there are various requirements people have. Some people want to get 95 above. Some people want to get 90 above. Some people want to get 98, 98 above. So based on what's your need, you need to understand what is your need. Upon your need, your hard work, they should be in proportion. All right. So now let's move on to Act 4. Now we move on to Act 4, and in Act 4, we see a completely different Antony. Now, this is also a house in Rome, and here we have the second triumvirate. So, who are the members of the second triumvirate? They are Antony, Octavius, and Lepidus. Here's a new character which gets introduced, who is Lepidus. He's a part of the triumvirate, but then Antony tries to again remove Lepidus from the sharing of power. He doesn't want to share power with this character. So we get to know that Antony is also very selfish, very manipulative over here. So what are they doing? They are actually preparing a list. They are preparing a proscription list. Okay, now who are the people in this list? Their names are here listed. Why? Because these people are related to the conspiracy in some way or the other. So here, very ruthlessly, they prepare the names of the people who should be executed. So in this, we see Octavius tells, your brother will also die. Do you agree to this, Lepidus? So Lepidus tells, yes, I agree. Then Lepidus tells after this that upon condition Publius should also not live, who is your sister's son, Mark Antony. So I hope you also agree to that. So in this way, slowly they are writing down the names of all the people who are related to the conspiracy. Now, after this, Antony gives Lepidus a work. He tells that go to Caesar's house and fetch the will. And the moment Lepidus exits, Antony starts criticizing about Lepidus. He calls him a slight, unmeritable man, a man with no merit, and he is only fit for sending him for some kind of work, sending him for errands. And therefore, the threefold world divided. That means when the world is divided, three of us are sharing powers together. So I don't think he's suitable enough to share power with us. So this is what he talks about Lepidus. Now, this is what I was telling, that you can understand that Antony is really selfish. He has no respect. He has no respect for friendship. He has no respect for loyalty. And Octavius, rather, he tells that, okay, if you think about him in that way, then why did you take his opinion? While you were preparing the black sentence and the proscription, why did you take his opinion? So then Antony tells that, okay, so you know what? I have seen more days than you. I'm more experienced than you. And sometimes we have to use people for carrying the burden. He is going to carry the burden just the ass bears gold. So he compares Lepidus with a donkey, and he should be either led or driven. That means, we will guide him. We will tell him which way to go. And once the work is done, we are just going to remove him from everything, and we will let him graze in the commons. This is what he tells. But then Octavius tries to say that, you know what, he's a really valiant soldier, he's a brave soldier. So Antony again compares Octavius to his horse, that my horse is also very good, and but then I have to teach him how to fight, how to stop, where to stop, which way to go. I have to tell him. And Lepidus is also something very much like that. He's a barren spirited fellow. Please underline this. That means he is, he doesn't have any talent. He's actually an empty headed fellow. And do not talk of him but as a property. So we're going to only use him as our tool. Sometimes you use people. Many people are there in this world, they try to use us. Use us means they will always try to see that we come to them for some kind of help. And at times they also make friendship keeping that in mind, कि ये मेरे काम में आएगा. And therefore they make that friendship. And they are never true friends for everyone. I'm sure you must have met some people in your life as well. So, yes, you can consider that Antony is talking exactly in that way. Means he's just faking friendship. He's just trying to show in front of Lepidus is showing he's a good friend. But the moment Lepidus is gone, he tries to criticize. And this is his real intention, that he does not want to share power with him in any way. And after this, he tells that, okay, now let us go and sit in discussion, because there are more things that needs to be discussed, that are dangers which are very near at hand. We need to answer those dangers. So Octavius also tells, okay, let us go and let us discuss more important matters, because there are people who have smile in their some that have smile in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs. That means apparently they are showing a smile, they are trying to smile in front of us, but then actually they have mischiefs in their heart. That means they have malice, they have evil plans within them in their heart, so that they can harm us. So this is the last part of Act 4, Scene 1. Okay, so after this they exit. So what do we understand from this part? We actually understand that in this scene, Antony is very manipulative. He's a hypocrite. He tries to fake friendship, but actually he is not at all a real friend. And we also come to know that these are the three people, the second triumvirate, and they share power over Rome. Okay, so Antony has also changed now, because he's very ambitious. Right now he has the power and he's very ambitious. So now we move on to the next part of Act 4, which is the Scene 2. So what happens in Scene 2? Scene 2, basically we see that there's a lot of ill will between Brutus and Cassius. So both of them, they feel that they have been wronged by each other. They have a lot of misunderstanding, and they are not at all happy. They have a lot of grudges within them. So this is the just a glimpse of what we see in Scene 2. The real quarrel happens in Scene 3. And I have already made a detailed video on scene 3, the quarrel scene, which is important. I will share the link in the description box. Watch that. Right now, I will just cover the synopsis, but in detail, everything has been covered in that scene. And I think I've also shared the question answers at the end of the video. So please watch that after you complete this video. Don't go now. Anyways, so here we have Brutus, Lucilius, and they all enter. And Brutus is trying to ask that what Lucilius is Cassius near? Is Cassius nearby? So Brutus tells that yes, he is at hand. And Pindarus also has come. Who is Pindarus? He is Cassius's devoted slave. And Pindarus has come to do you salutation from his master. So he has come to send you the greetings. So let's see what Pindarus has to say. Brutus has to say. First, Brutus tells that he greets me well. Your master Pindarus, in his own change or by ill officers, has given me some worthy cause. So Brutus is trying to say that your master greets me well. He has sent a good man to greet me, which is Pindarus, but then he has changed. Now we don't know what is the real reason. Either he has changed by himself or he has been influenced by ill officers. But then there are things which he has done which I wish he should not have done those things. So Pindarus is very devoted. He tells that, no, no, my master, if you meet my master, you will find him in the same way, full of regard and honor. And now Brutus wants to verify from Lucilius that how Cassius has greeted him. So he takes Lucilius aside and he asks him, Lucilius, how did Cassius greet you? So Lucilius tells that, you know what, he greeted me very politely, very courteously, but there was something very different in his way. What is that? That usually the friendly conversation was missing. In the olden days, the way he used to converse with us in that free and friendly manner, that was missing. So now Brutus tells that thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Now, yes, a very important speech. Please put a star. As I said, that I'm going to discuss the important speeches also. In scene 1 also, all the Antony speeches where he talks about Lepidus as an ass, and then he talks about Lepidus as a horse, like my horse is also in the same way. Please put a star against those speeches also. So here he tells, you know what, you have described a person who was warm, but suddenly he has become very indifferent. Because when somebody is very genuine, they will not use any tricks in their love, in the way they interact. Only when you are not genuine, you will try to be very sweet with that person. See, you don't need to be always like very nice and sweet with somebody who you love, because you genuinely love that person, right? But only when you have a different motive in your mind, when there is something else going on in your head, in your heart, that is the time when you're going to uh, change the way you interact. Like you may tend to be really sweet, use sugar coated words, oh, we're so nice, you're so good, but then there's something else going on. So Brutus is talking about Cassius in the same light, that hollow men, just like horses hot at hand. There's another comparison with horses over here. Hollow men with horses hot at hand, what will they do? They will try to promise of great friendship. They will try to promise that they're going to really perform well, just like horses before a race. But when the time will come to show their talent and then their spirit, they will fall flat. They will not be able to perform. And they are going to be like the deceitful jades. So they will sink in the trial. So what is he referring here? He's referring to Cassius's friendship. That when the time came to prove his friendship, he couldn't prove it. Why he's telling this, we'll come to know a little later on, that what is the main reason Brutus is so angry with Cassius, why he thinks in this way. So Lucilius tells that yeah, his army is already here. They are going to come to Sardis this night. The greater part have already come with Cassius. So after this, Cassius is going to come, and let's see how Brutus reacts. So when Cassius and Brutus, they meet immediately after this, face to face, the first thing Cassius tells is, most noble brother, you have done me wrong. You have done me wrong. And Brutus tells that I cannot wrong my enemies. How can I wrong you? And Cassius blames that, no, no, you're all acting. And finally they decide that before they actually fight, they should talk about all these things in private, because it is not good, right? It's not good to fight in front of their soldiers. So they decide to go to the tent and they decide to fight and actually quarrel and just pour out their heart, their grievances in the inside the tent. So the final scene of Act 4 is scene 3, and this is the quarrel scene. So let's see what happens in the quarrel scene. So here in the quarrel scene, there's a lot of bad, they're going to badmouth each other. They will hurl abuses at each other. First of all, Brutus, we will see again a Brutus in a different light completely. Brutus has never been so angry, so hot headed, so anxious. He has always been very calm and composed. But then why do we see Brutus in this way? Because there is something, again, we'll come to know at the end of scene 3. So here, Cassius, now let's discuss the main reason. I'll just go through this act scene 3 very short, because I've already done a detailed video, I repeat, on this, on the quarrel scene. So Cassius tells that, you know what? You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella. Now, this is the one name you have to remember. Lucius Pella was taking bribes from the Sardians, and Cassius was trying to support him. He said Brutus that, okay, please don't punish this man. And he wrote on behalf of Lucius Pella to Brutus. But Brutus, he's very strong with his principles, and he did not, he just ignored the letter, which has hurt Cassius. And he said that, you are my friend when you know I am writing to you for Lucius Pella. Why did you ignore that letter? That means you have no respect for my friendship. See, it also happens with us when we are trying to, we know that, he's our friend, and we say, you know what, can you just do this for me? I know you are my friend, and please do this favor for me. We usually ask favor sometimes. And most of us, if we are really genuine and, we want to favor our friend, we do it. But there are people who are like really strong with their ethics and principles. They will not budge. And Brutus is one such person. So when Brutus saw that Cassius is speaking on behalf of Lucius Pella, which is also where he comes to know Lucius Pella has done a crime by taking bribes. Taking bribes is something Brutus cannot imagine. He cannot think of corruption. So he tells it, okay, first of all, why did you write to me? And actually, you only have an itching palm. So he tells Cassius, you have an itching palm, means you are very greedy, because you are also selling and you're marting your officers for gold to undeservers. You are selling important positions in the army to undeserving people in exchange of gold. So Cassius tells that, first of all, we are in a very grave situation, and right now we can't think about all these things. These are all petty things we have to ignore. We have to only think about important matters. But Brutus tells what? That no, he reminds that why did we kill Julius Caesar? Because he was supporting robbers. And you mean to say that we contaminated our, now we are going to contaminate our fingers by taking base bribes? We are going to sell our honors for that? So I can never call myself a Roman. So in this way, he really shouts at Cassius. And what does Cassius say? So Cassius tells that, okay, first of all, don't talk to me like that. I am quite experienced, and I am better in taking decisions. So Brutus's ego here is really hurt, and he says, no, what do you mean to say? That, you're better, than prove it. And in this way, they continue fighting. And at one point, they also try to like get physical, because Cassius tells it, okay, take this and dagger and just pierce into my heart. You're going to be happy, okay? And because you are trying to blame me that I have not given you money. Brutus also tells that I asked money from you. I wanted to pay my soldiers, but you did not. You did not give me the money, because I can raise no money by vile means. So all this continues. He's like very angry, and he said that I wanted to pay my army. You denied me. Why did you do this? Was it done like Cassius? Because do you think I could have ever done it if you had asked money? And if I become so greedy at any point of time that, I will lock all my money from my friends, let the gods with their thunderbolts dash him to pieces. So I can never do such things. So this is what he tells. And what does Cassius say over here? Okay, I denied you gold. So if I denied you gold, first of all, I am a friend, so you should bear with my faults. If even if I chalo, even if I make any faults, you have to bear with me. Why are you like, throwing everything on my face, like you have learned as if all my shortcomings, my flaws, and you've learned it, and you're trying to attack me every time. Why you're behaving with me in this way? And Cassius over here is really hurt. Because see, Cassius actually loves, and Cassius also respects Brutus a lot. Yes, in the beginning of the play he was manipulating because he had an agenda, but his respect for Brutus was not false. He really loved, and here he's very hurt, and he tells her, okay, take this dagger and pierce me and kill me. And after some time, after all this, their anger subsides, and Brutus tells that, my anger is like a hasty spark, and it just uh, gets lit, and then it is cold again. So finally, when their anger before that, a poet comes. Poet also shouts at them, because see, if we see from the perspective of the readers, we come to know that first of all they are in the middle of a war, upcoming war, and before the war starts, there are frictions. There's a friction between these two people. So as two generals, they're not supposed to fight like this. They should show cooperation. They should have a good team bonding, because that is going to be really inspiring for the soldiers. But what are they doing? See, that is what the poet comes and tells them, that you are not supposed to fight like this. And after this, when everything is gone, this is when Brutus reveals that Portia is dead. So now we come to know, maybe that is the reason he was so anxious. He was so hot-headed. And Cassius is really like shocked, and he tells, Portia is dead, and Nick, how could you bear it? You could have actually killed me when you're going through this kind of a pain. You could have actually killed me. And we also come to know what is the reason of Portia's death, that she was really upset because due to Brutus's long absence, and for that she swallowed hot pieces of coal, and when her attendants were absent. So this is a very unnatural death of Portia, and Cassius still can't get over this. And but then we see Brutus, even though he's really extremely devastated over here, because of course his dear wife is dead, he's away from his home, but then he still tries to concentrate on the battle. He doesn't want to talk about his personal sorrow. After this, Messala comes, they have a discussion. Even Messala tells about Portia's death. And finally, there's another decision which Brutus takes, which is again a fatal decision. So he tells that, let us march to Philippi. So Cassius opposes. He tells that, no, I don't think it's a good idea. So why? Why does Cassius say that? Cassius tells that, first of all, it's better that the enemy seek us. Because if the enemy tries to find us, it will make their soldiers weary. They will waste their resources, whereas our soldiers will be like full of energy, full of rest, full of energy, and they can fight well. So Brutus has his own reasons, and what does he say? That the people between Philippi and Sardis, he's talking about the local Sardians, they have grudged us contribution. They're not happy with us. So if we allow the enemy to march through those areas, they will obviously go and join the enemy. They will join Antony's side. So I don't want that. So let us directly go to Philippi and face him there. So after this, finally, we see that Cassius always had agreed with whatever Brutus said. And also, Brutus tells over here, this is also another important speech, please mark it. And he tells that there is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. That means we are right now in a very advantageous situation, and we have to take the plunge. Because if we don't take the plunge in this opportunity, in this great opportunity that we have, we are going to we will not be successful. Just like a ship which is ready to sail, but then if it is stuck in shallow water, it will never go ahead. It always has to start its journey during a high tide. So this is what he tells. And finally, we see that Cassius always had agreed with whatever Brutus said. And now Brutus wants to take rest because he's very tired. And he asks Lucius, the boy servant, he tells that, can you play some music? So Lucius tells that, okay, I'm going to do so. And Lucius is a poor boy. He's a young boy. He's feeling sleepy, but he doesn't want to like say no to Brutus because he has a lot of respect for his master. So while he's doing so, no, while he's playing the instrument, he falls asleep. He dozes off. And Brutus has really pity for this boy, and he tells it, "Oh, gentle knave, it was wrong for me to keep you awake. So let me take the instrument, and you can go to sleep." Now, this is the place where the ghost of Caesar enters. So, what does he say? Again, please mark this speech. Who are you? Are you some god, some angel, some devil? So he sees a monstrous apparition, and the candle starts flickering at this point. So the ghost, what does it tell? The ghost tells that I am going to see you at Philippi. First of all, the ghost tells that I am your evil spirit. So this is Brutus's conscience. Brutus's conscience gets manifested in the form of this ghost. Yes, he sees the ghost. But then what is the ghost actually? It's a part of his own guilt conscience, that the fact that he had killed his friend Julius Caesar. But the ghost tells that I'm going to see you at Philippi. Twice he repeats this, and the moment he's done, the ghost goes away, and then he really awakes everyone, and he tells that let us start the journey immediately. And we are done. We should start immediately. He goes and asks Varro Claudius to go and inform it to Cassius. So scene 3 is a quarrel scene, but then there are a lot of developments in this scene. Portia's death we come to know. Then we also come to know that all the senators have been killed who have been linked to the conspiration, and all the senators have been killed who have been linked to the conspiracy. So all these things we come to know, and finally, of course, the ghost of Caesar. He comes and tells that we are going to see you in Philippi. So that is all about Act 4. Let us now go to Act 5. Students, I'm giving you a comprehensive breakdown of all the three acts. And before your exam, before your prelim, before your board exam, see, prelims, I know you all have to prepare well, but the main thing is a board exam, right? So before your board exam, make sure that you listen to this video once again. It will keep everything in one place. All your important points will be in one place. So I repeat, remember to watch this once again, because see, we are all humans. We will forget. We tend to forget. And I know, all of you are studying so many subjects together. It's very natural. It's very difficult to remember everything. So these kind of comprehensive videos will be very helpful. And I will make more live videos towards the end of in Jan. I'll start making a lot of live videos also. Let me know in the comments what kind of live videos you want. You want me to solve papers? You want to discuss question answer? What is it? Tell me. I will accordingly plan it, because see, my motive is really to help all of you. And I know that even if you get little benefited from my videos, I'm really happy and grateful, because as a teacher, what more can I ask? I want good marks. Last year also, my students, they had come in really flying colors. They've scored so well, and so it makes me really happy. I've been teaching students. I've not even met them. They are online students, and they are on other part of the world. And but then when they tell me, ma'am, you know what, I got this, and I got this kind of marks, it really, like, what else a teacher can ask for? Anyways, so let's come to Act 5 and Act 5 Scene 1. So Act 5 also, separate video is already made. Repeat. So but still I'm going through this once again. So what happens in Act 5? In Act 5, the armies, they meet each other. They confront each other at Philippi. Okay. So first of all, Octavius tells Antony. Now, where does Act 5 takes place? It takes place in Philippi. So the entire Act 5 takes place in Philippi. Please make a note of it. So first thing, Octavius is telling to Mark Antony that you said that the enemy will not come down. They're going to stay at Sardis. But then see, right now the enemy have come down. So whatever you said, it is wrong. So Antony again dismisses the entire thing. And he tells, I know why they are doing. They just want to instill fear in our heart. They want to show that they are brave, but I know what they are. So don't get worried about it. And don't think that they have courage. They just want to make us believe that they have courage, but it's not so. Now, at this point, a messenger enters, and the messenger informs that enemy comes on in gallant show. The enemies are already here. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out. The flag is hung out. That means they are ready for the war. They have already announced the war. So now Antony tells to Octavius that lead your battle softly on and take the left hand of the even field. You take the left hand side and I will take the right side. But Octavius tells no, I'm not going to listen to you. I will take the right and you take the left. So Antony tells, why do you cross me? Why are you opposing me in this crisis? So Octavius very firmly tells, no, I don't cross you, but I will not listen. So what does this show? That Octavius is very firm, even though he's young, but he's really firm and he can take good decisions. And he is emerging as a true descendant of Julius Caesar. Why? Because usually the right hand side of the field is very advantageous and it's taken by the powerful generals compared to the left hand side. So Octavius tells that I am the true descendant of Caesar. Why should I take the left hand side? I will take the right hand, you take the left. So this is what we come to know. And now they come face to face. Now Brutus tells her, let's have a parley, let's have a discussion over here. And while they discuss, they hurl abuses at each other. So one of the most important speeches over here is about the hyblabes. So Cassius tells that Antony, your posture of your blows, the way you attack is unknown. Because if it comes to your words, you rob the Hybla bees. This is an important speech. So Hybla bees, what is Hybla? Hybla is again a mountain in Sicily famous for its honey. So Antony's words are so sweet that he has robbed the sweetness of the Hybla bees. So he's telling not stingless too. I've also taken their sting. That means I can also sting. I can also attack when it comes. And after this, Antony's speech over here is also important. Villains, that this is what you all did when you attacked Caesar. You showed your teeth, you fawned like hounds, you bowed like bondmen kissing Caesar's feet, and damned Casca like a cur struck Caesar on the neck. So this is what you all did. This is how you attacked Caesar. So he's very angry, and you can understand from the way he said. So Cassius is telling to Brutus that, see, you had faith in Antony. If you would have listened to me that day, today we would not have encountered Antony in this manner. So Brutus, thank yourself that this tongue had not offended so today. If Cassius might have ruled, if Cassius would have taken the decision, if you would have allowed him to listen to take the decision, then this day you would not have witnessed. So Octavius is young and he's like very impulsive. He tells that, hey, why are we talking and sweating? Why do we need to waste our effort in discussion? Let us go and fight. Let us prove ourselves with blood. We don't want to talk anymore. And let me take revenge. Till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till I die, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to put my sword back again. So they go and they start. It's just before the battle. Now, after they go, Cassius is in a very different light in this scene, and Cassius is very sad. Well, how do we come to know? First of all, he's telling to Messala. He has stopped pouring out his heart to Brutus anymore, probably after the fallout. Yes, they are no longer, they are on talking terms, definitely. But then when it comes to discussing something really deep and really emotional, he's talking to Messala. What is he saying over here? That it's my birthday. And I always held Epicurus strong and his opinion. But then today something changed my mind, that I never believed in omens. But then when we were coming from Sardis, I saw something. I saw first there were eagles on our flag, and it was a good sign because eagles are powerful birds. But then I suddenly saw ravens, crows, and kites taking its place. And I feel that this is not a good sign. When I see the ravens, crows, and kites, I feel that we were sickly prey, and their shadow forms like a canopy, which is a fatal canopy. So Messala tells, don't believe in all these things. So Cassius tells, okay, I'm just telling you, but I'm ready to face all the dangers. Then Cassius asks Brutus in scene 1 that in case we lose the battle. What are your plans? Actually, this is the last time they both face each other. This is the farewell that we see of Brutus and Cassius in Act 5, Scene 1. After this, they don't come together face to face. So Brutus tells that, yeah, I did blame Cato for the death because he had killed himself. But I find it really cowardly and vile to take my life. So I'm not going to take my life, and I will wait with patience to see what God has his plans for us. So Cassius tells that, okay, then are you going to be taken as a prisoner of war? Are you happy with that? Now he tells, no, never. I will not do so. Why? Because Brutus will never go back to Rome. He bears too great a mind. And this is going to be our last farewell. So if we meet again, we will smile. And if we don't meet, our parting was well made. So they bid farewell and they go in their separate ways. That is all in Act 5, Scene 1. Now we come to Scene 2. So in Scene 2, it's a very small scene. So, but then there is something that we have to take from here. What is it? Brutus's impulsive decision. He was too hasty for the attack, and he went and attacked Octavius. Why? Because he saw that Octavius's wing had a cold demeanor. Means they were not that lively. They were not that spirited. He felt that his soldiers were lacking that spirit. And if he attacks at this point, it can be a win-win situation for him. So he tells to Messala, go and give the written orders to the other side of the army. That's all in Scene 2. Now we come to Scene 3. Now, what happens in Scene 3? Scene 3 over here, first of all, Cassius, we already see Cassius was pessimistic. Cassius was very disheartened, and he was in not a good state of mind. Now, he tells that Titinius, see how my own army are escaping. And in fact, the flag bearer was also turning back, so I took the flag from him and I killed him. So Titinius tells over here actually what Brutus gave the word too early. And instead, when of course he had some advantage on Octavius, but then his soldiers started looting after that. And we got enclosed by Antony. So Pindarus comes and tells, just get away because Antony's men are already in your tents. So Cassius was standing a little far away from his tents. Now he sends Titinius and he tells Titinius, go and see that the people who are there in the tents are my friends or enemy. So Titinius immediately goes. Now Cassius tells Pindarus, go up get high on that hill because I can't see properly. And tell me what is happening to Titinius as he rides ahead. Now Pindarus misunderstands. Pindarus tells, you know what? Titinius is enclosed by the enemies and he's dead. He has been captured. So Cassius tells, without verifying, this is what he does. Without even verifying, he tells, oh, come down. I don't want to listen anymore. And I'm a coward that have lived so long. And I have taken you as a prisoner in Parthia. And please kill me. So he tells Pindarus to kill him. And Pindarus is a slave. He can't say no. And he tells, I wanted my freedom, but then I never wanted it in this way. And then he fulfills whatever Cassius desires, and Cassius commits suicide over here. Now Titinius comes back after some time, and when Titinius sees that he's lying like that, he's devastated, and he tells that, why did you do so? See, I have brought this wreath for you, and I have brought it. I want to give it to you, and he puts that wreath on Cassius's brow. And this speech is very important. Please mark it. O setting sun, in the red rays, as you sink tonight, so in his red blood, Cassius's day is set. Important speech in Act 5. Okay, and the next speech. So here he is comparing this thing to Cassius to a sun, which is about to set. It's setting right now, and how the rays of the sun, the color of the red rays of the sun have covered the sky. Similarly, Cassius is also lying in that red blood. And he is also the son of Rome. And after this, Messala tells, this speech is also very important, that, O hateful error, melancholy's child, why do you show to the apt thoughts of men the things that are not? So what does he mean? That error is like a child of melancholy. You make mistake when you are sad. And the birth of that child is never a happy one because it kills the person who has given you birth. So in this case, the person who has given you birth is Cassius in terms of the error he conceived, and he is only dead. So both the speeches are very important. Put a star. And after this, Titinius will also commit suicide, because he tells, when Messala goes to give the news to Brutus, Titinius tells that, see, I'm so sad that you killed in this way, got killed in this way. I will also kill myself. So he dies over here. Now at the end, Brutus comes, and Brutus is like, he tells that we are never going to find two Romans like this. Never ever we will find two Romans like this. So we are going to send the body to this place. Please put a star against this part. Okay. And his funeral shall not be in our camp. We are not going to do the funeral. Why? Because it is going to demotivate our soldiers. So come Lucilius, come young Cato, Labio and Flavius, please come. We'll continue with the battle. So every time you see Brutus sees a personal, he comes across a personal tragedy, he tries to move on, because his intention is to win the battle. His intention is doing something for Rome, and for that he keeps his personal sorrows aside, even though it breaks his heart. But still he does not give in. He's so strong from inside. But then, yes, every person has a breaking point, and Brutus will also have his own breaking point in scene 5. So this is the scene 3. Let's see what happens in scene 4. So in scene 4, we see that first of all, Lucilius, he lets Brutus escape. Okay. And he tries to take the attention on himself, and he tells to the soldiers, I am Brutus, I am Marcus Brutus. And he offers the soldiers some money and tells them, you can take me. Please capture me. So the soldiers, they don't know who is Lucilius, who is Brutus. There are so many soldiers. How will they know people on their by their face? So they think that, okay, he is Brutus, and they think that Brutus is captured. So after here, when they go and tell Antony that Brutus is taken, see, Antony, Brutus is taken. So when Antony comes, he says, where is he? Where is Brutus? So now Lucilius, he tells that he is safe. He's safe, Antony, because nobody can ever take alive the noble Brutus. This speech is again important. Please put a star. And because you can never take Brutus in that shameful manner. Wherever you will find Brutus, he will be like himself. You can't take him as a prisoner. You can't take the pride of taking him as a prisoner of war, because he is the noble Brutus. So Antony is very pleased over here. And what does he say? This is not Brutus, but he is also a prize no less in worth. He talks about Lucilius. He is also equally precious. Somebody who shows this kind of loyalty, ready to sacrifice his own life for Brutus. How can I ignore this man? I would rather keep him as my friend rather as my enemy. So he tells his soldiers, keep him safe, take care of this man, because he's also very precious. And that's all that happens in scene 4. Okay, now let's move on to the last scene of the play. What happens in scene 5? So in scene 5, as I said earlier, Brutus, he will also have his own breaking point, and this is the place where he will really be devastated. And he is in this place, he's like, he has only a few friends now. All are dead. They're running from one part of the field to the other, trying to hide themselves. They are being chased by the enemies. And he is requesting over here to each person, to Clitus, to Dardanius, to Volumnius. And what does he say? That please kill me. So Volumnius tells that no, I can't do so. So Brutus tells that, you know what, Volumnius, our enemy have bet us to the pit. We are already all at the edge of our grave. Why should we wait till they push us? Let us jump. And we have been to school together. So please hold thy sword hilts while I run into it. Important speech. And obviously nobody agrees. Volumnius doesn't agree. Then Clitus doesn't agree. And this speech of Brutus, please take care of this one. And what does he say? That, countrymen, my heart doth joy that in all my life I found no one but he was true to me. So in my entire life, this is going to give me happiness. That all my friends were true to me. Nobody was fake. I never had a fake friend. Everybody was true. So in that way, I will have glory. Even though Octavius and Mark Antony will win this, the vile conquest, a shameful victory. But I will have glory by this losing day because at least I have true, genuine friends. And let's see who fulfills his wish. So finally, Strato fulfills his wish and he tells, okay, give me your hand. I'm going to do so, but give me your hand and fare you well. So Brutus runs on his sword. And the last words, I killed not thee. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will. So, Caesar, now your spirit will be at peace. And he also, confesses that when I killed you, I did not have even half the willpower with which I killed you. Now I kill myself. That means I killed you against my will. I never wanted to kill you. And finally, now everybody comes to know the last part of the drama. And uh, Strato tells that my master is free from the bondage you are in. Free from the bondage means free from life's bondage. And Brutus only overcame himself. No one will have the honor by his death. No one can claim honor by killing him. So after this, Antony comes. This is very important, both the speeches, last two speeches of Antony and Octavius. So he tells this was the noblest Roman. All the conspirators except he did that in envy of great Caesar. That means everybody was jealous of Caesar. They had personal grudges. He was the only man who was doing everything for the common good, for the general good of Rome. His life was gentle, and the elements mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to the world, this was a man. He was a true man. All the elements are perfectly blended in his character. And Octavius finally agrees and he tells, let us use him and with all respect the rites of burial. That means the way he was virtuous, pious, honest, we are going to give him a respectful burial. And today, in my tent, his body will lie like a soldier, ordered honorably, and let us call everybody back and let us finish the war. Let the soldiers take rest and let's await to part the glories of this happy day. Why happy day? Because they have won the battle. Part the glories means let's now divide the honors. So this prepares us, this last line prepares us that after this, how they're going to share the power between them, between the obviously Antony and Octavius. That brings us to the end of the play. So, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5, I have summarized at places. I've given you all the important speeches. So, I hope it's a good revision for you. Anything more you want, please let me know. And please share this video at least with one of your friends, because if you share, you will help. And study well, take care of yourself, have good food, take adequate rest, reduce your screen time. I know that, yes, you're studying also on YouTube, I agree to it, but you can reduce the fun part, right? Like, your uh, lot of involvement with other social media where you just do a little time pass. I know sometimes you need to rewind, but thoda kam dekh lo, because time is coming and it's coming really near. The exam dates are coming really near. And that's all. Have a good day. Have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. Goodbye.